You look at all the other manufacturers out there, you know, there's Bruce, there's Shaw, there's Mohawk. Somerset's one of the few companies that true cradle to grave. They grow their own trees. They harvest their own trees. They have the sawmills. They saw the wood. They grade it out, and then they bring it to market. Hi, I'm Ted Cook with Really Cheap Floors, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, Somerset Hardwood Flooring. Give you a couple reasons why Somerset Hardwood Flooring is one of my favorite subjects. One, everything in the Somerset lineup is made in the United States. All of their solids are made up in Somerset, Kentucky. All of their engineered floors are made over in Crossville, Tennessee. Not only are they made in the U.S., they're made in the South, okay? We love that about them. Another big thing about Somerset, they make all of their own. They raise their own trees. They harvest their own trees. They have their own sawmills to cut this material. They have their own kilns. They do their own finishing. Everything is in-house. I know a lot of the manufacturers I buy from, they'll either import it from China, some manufacturer over there, or they'll have a jobber here that makes manufacturing for 3 or 4 different companies. Just tell us what you want, we'll run it. Not Somerset. Somerset's unusual. They make all of their stuff in-house. If there's a problem, they know where the problem came from. It's their problem to take care of. Another thing I love about Somerset is we almost never have a problem. That's a biggie. One of the things that sets Somerset apart is, you've heard people talk about they used all the pig, even the squeal. Well, that's about the way Somerset is with a tree. The reason they offer so many different products, when you look at this lineup, it might even get a little confusing when you look at different widths, different glosses, a little bit different grades. Why do they do that? That's because the way God made a tree, you get all that in one tree. You might get some dark streaks in it. You might get small knots. And what makes Somerset so good at what they do is they're able to utilize all the different visuals, all the different species, all the different grades of wood, so they can offer value all the way across the lineup. That's huge, okay? A company that doesn't do a good job selling the really high-graded select is going to have to charge too much for its builder grade or its common type products. So that's some of the strength of Somerset. Let's take a quick look at some of the products they offer. The big products that they sell the most of are going to be color plank, oak plank. Again, they make Somerset's unusual in that they make solid and engineered almost in all the products. Like this product comes in the solid and what they call their engineered, the solid plus. Why do they call it solid plus? All right, quick little side note. I get distracted easy, but if you were in here talking to us, I'd be the same way, okay? Nothing unusual. When we look at a solid floor and how it's cut, it is sliced. They take a log and they cut across the grain so that your grain's going different directions in the board, and that's what gives solid wood such a natural look. Most engineered floors are made by using a rotary peel. So they take the log and they cut around it to make a big long sheet of wood. Why would they do that? Because there's no loss, okay? Very high yield. The downside is that's not what wood really looks like. With the Somerset Solid Plus engineered, they cut those engineered tops, those veneers, the exact same way they cut a solid. Same way, it's just thinner. So what we get with a Solid Plus floor from Somerset is the engineered looks just like the solid. It really does. Nobody can tell the difference between them. So we're pretty excited about that. So when they sample them, they'll sample the solid and the engineered together. Almost all their solid floors are available in 2 1/4, 3 1/4, 4 and 5, and most of the engineereds are available in 3 1/4 and 5. There are some exceptions like the wide plank that comes in 6 and 7 inch width. But as a general rule, we're going to talk about these 3 1/4, 5 inch engineereds. So anyway, color plank. When you look at a color plank, you can see there's not a lot of variation, okay? This is where they're using their select product. All of the color planks are made using select lumber. Approximately 40% of a tree is select and better. So you can see that they do generate a lot of this. When you take a product like this let's see here. You can look at the Classic. Now the Classic is made of one common and better. Could have come from the same tree, both red oaks right here that we're looking at. But you can see in the Classic, you'll see a small knot. You can see more color variation, stuff you won't see in the color plank lineup. And that's not to say that one's better than the other. They're just different. Again, that's the way the Lord made wood, okay? You're going to get the different variation. We're not talking about cabin grade. We're not talking about seconds. We're just talking about the type of lumber, the grade of lumber used to make this product is specified a little bit differently. We can see it really well here in these two hickory floors. Now this is their specialty collection. Specialty is another select and better product. It comes in white oak, hickory, and maple. When we look at the specialty versus the character, also a hickory natural, we'll see there's small knots in this, okay? There's knots here. There's more color variation. We don't see that in this. Again, we're not saying one's better than the other. We're saying that they're different. And our goal here at Really Cheap Floors is to make sure that when you buy a floor, you are getting exactly what you wanted. Now, you may or may not have known that's what you wanted until you got a little more information, but that's why we're here. That's why my family has had this business for 45 years, all right? We're good at this. We can help you pick out the right floor. We just have to be patient. Both you and me have to be patient. Let's take our time, learn about the products, learn about the companies, and then when you get done, you can make an educated decision so you can get the floor that you want, all right? You know, all of the Somerset, we have in the solids, we have plenty of widths available. That's a 3 1/4, a 4, a 5. We have to be a little bit careful in some parts of the country if you have high humidity and then low humidity like we do here in the South. If you're not going to keep your humidity really close throughout the year, you might want to stay away from a 5-inch solid, because a solid wood floor, when you introduce moisture to it, causes it to expand. All right, so be careful there. We want to make sure you don't have any problems with your floor. So a quick rundown of some of the products that we offer. We talked about the Classic. Our name for it's antique. That's a wire brushed floor. Wire brush just meaning they've brushed the top of it with a machine that puts a little bit of texture on the surface so that you don't get that change in appearance or that change in gloss level over time. And especially you folks that live in sandy areas, that sand, it's kind of gritty, abrasive, and it will change the sheen on a floor. So those wire brush floors are good for that. Home style is just like the oak plank. The only difference is it has a 4-sided bevel. Some customers prefer the 4-sided bevel, and that's what you'll get with the home style. The oak plank and the Classic are a 2-sided bevel. The high gloss is kind of a unique product. Some parts of the country, this is a big seller. It only comes in 2 1/4 and 3 1/4, so we don't see the 4 and 5-inch. Typically, more traditional areas, more historical type parts of the country will use more of the high gloss. We talked about the character, the oak plank. This is a nice one. This is our wide plank. Only comes in engineered. It's available in hickory, maple, white oak, red oak, 6-inch, 7-inch wide, big wide material. I don't think we talked enough really about the Somerset construction of engineered. Most of the floors out there are 3/8. There are a few 1/2-inch. They'll be made of 4 or 5 plies of wood. When we look at the Somerset, we're looking at 7 plies of hardwood. It's a hardwood core. You'll see a lot of stores talk about how hard the surface is. Well, if you're not using a hardwood core, it really doesn't matter how hard the surface is. You drop something on it, it's going to dent, okay? We don't want that. We want to buy a quality floor that won't dent, and we want one that's stable so that when you do have the moisture change, we don't get any movement in that floor. In a nutshell, that's the Somerset line. When you go to our website, you will see the first quality offered, as well as the cabin grade, or excuse me, the blue label grade and the builder grade. We offer the other grades for Somerset. They make a small amount of blue label and a small amount of builder, and we just help them get rid of that. So if money's really tight, You want the construction quality. You want those seven plies that Somerset uses. You want that engineered plus, but you want to keep the price under $2. We can help you with that. We can show you some of our blue label material. If you have any other questions, if you'd like us to send you a sample, please pick up the phone and call us or drop us an email. We'd love to help you with that.